So today we're going to be going through the offseason of the Pilots franchise. The whole offseason, nothing more, nothing less. We're going to talk about the Rule 5 draft, some trades potentially, some offseason signings. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not 100% sure what my whole plan is right now because some of the players that you guys want me to target just makes the team so much more confusing. So I got to figure out what I want, what you want, how to make that work. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out on the fly. That's usually how I do these, and I hope you do enjoy it. If you do, hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoy the content. And of course, get in the comment section. What's going on with Marcell Ozuna? His career is done, right? Right? You gotta think so. It's gotta be done. Unbelievable. If you don't know the story, just Google Marcell Ozuna. It'll pop up. Oh, dude. It's gotta. There's no way the Braves bring him back. There's just no way. It can't happen. He has to be done. So let me know what you guys think. Is he done? Is his career over? Because I think so. Let me know down below. So let's talk off-season things. 40-man. I've already made a couple players, or I've already added a couple players to the 40-man. We're at 36 total players right now, so we can add 4. Okay. That actually makes things a little bit trickier than I anticipated. Well, okay. Actually, we'll lose a couple. Let's break it down here. Arbitration. I've offered everybody arbitration. What I literally do is I just go click, offer arbitration, accept. That's literally what I do. Everything else here, you guys can see who's been offered arbitration, who hasn't been. Ian Kroll being one of them, the only one that wasn't given arbitration. Contracts. I'll actually set myself up in the corner here so you guys can see the attributes for players. But you can see everybody was given a contract, and a couple players here and there I thought maybe like a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal. Funkhauser initially wanted a 5-year deal. I'm not too sure I want to keep him for 5 years. I'm going to lower it down to kind of what he wants, about 800,000. Boom. A 2-year deal. We'll see how he is at that 2-year point, see how he's doing. Grayson Grainer, I'm not going to give one. I feel like him and Jake Rogers are too similar of catchers, and I want to upgrade, at least for the time being. Try to find a new catcher that's available in free agency. Duplantier, everybody else, yeah, been offered a contract unless it says that they weren't offered a contract, like Dustin Garneau or a couple other players, Derek Hill. But everything else was just kind of like, let's give them the lowest amount of money possible for however many years I felt like they could be with the team. So some players I just felt like we didn't need them. Some players I just felt like we could let them go, like all these guys here at the bottom, and we can add new players to the organization. So yeah, those are all the contracts. That's kind of what was there. I basically brought back everybody that was like 70 above, and then anybody that was like in the 60s, I kind of thought about if I wanted to bring them back. If they had B potential, I probably brought them back. But like C's and D potential, if they were kind of closer to the 30s, I let walk. It really just felt on, it was more of like a feel on, do I think they could potentially be like maybe a trade piece or maybe make the majors? Or can they just stick in the farm system and be a super cheap contract? Then I'll keep them. If I feel like I don't really want to keep them, I just let them walk. That's really what it comes down to. It's all a personal choice and like what you feel is best for your team. Free agency, you can see I have 2 pending offers, and that's because I already thought this makes the most sense, right? And Scherzer and Verlander, you guys are like, bring them back, mentor the young guys. Obviously, there's like no mentor role in MLB The Show, but mentor the young guys, be there, kind of like the circle of life. They're not dying or anything, but like, you know, they kind of, this is where their careers took off, right? Detroit. Obviously, we're not in Detroit anymore, but let's kind of complete the circle. Scherzer, Verlander, 29 mil for both of them. A little expensive, but let's see if they join the team back. See if we can bring them back, kind of give them like that send-off for their careers that they've had, right? Now let's talk the team as a whole. Because right now I'm thinking we could use upgrades at every position, right? Like no position is really safe. I feel like Akil Baddoo is kind of like the poster boy for the young player right now until Torkelson's MLB ready, until Austin Martin MLB ready. You know, we've got Skubal, Mize, Manning, a couple of our youngsters that we signed like Kevin Cordova, and Merle Cosmo. But for the meantime, we don't really have like really good players. You know, we've got okay players. So like, could Willie Calhoun be replaced? Of course. Could Victor Reyes? Of course. Could any of these guys? Yeah, definitely. I feel like we could use upgrades at like every position. And that's where it gets a little difficult because like I kind of like some of these players. I don't want to replace them. I think Keston at second, really good. I think Willie Castro could be really good. I think Candelario, decent. I feel like he could be one that I'd be okay with replacing. Akil Badu, I want to keep him in the outfield. Victor Reyes, I could replace him. I'm not going to lie. I could replace him. Willie Calhoun, I think could be a really good bat for us. I think he really could be. Is he a starter? I think we give him one more year to really show if he could be a starter or not, especially since we have Kevin Cordova right behind him. So I keep saying his name wrong. It's Cordova. Kevin Cordova. We have him right behind him. So pitching, bringing in Verlander and Scherzer, I feel like we don't really need to go out and get any more starters. Bullpen, though, definitely could use some bullpen. And you look in the future years, we definitely could use some more help too, right? Like, I'm looking at it. We've got some youngsters starting to come up through the ranks, but I feel like we definitely need to kind of bring in a little bit more to help us out. So let's see what's available in free agency. So we've already talked about Scherzer and Verlander. The other options, I know some people said, let's bring in Kluber, let's bring in Paxton, let's bring in Syndergaard. I don't like those moves. I just feel like let's not spend too much money. As you can see in the pending offers, we're at 82 mil already, right? That includes arbitration, the contracts that we've tendered to current players on the team, and also Scherzer and Verlander. So we have about, quick maths, about 60 mil to play with. Do I want to blow all that 60 mil? No, I want to have a little bit extra to play with during the season, and also just to kind of save for season 3, because if we go and blow our whole bank, we don't have much room to work with, right? And we could end up, being a wild card team where we need to pick up a last minute player at the deadline. We could want to spend big next free agency. So we got to be smart with our money. Scherzer, Verlander, boom, that's it. No more starters unless some crazy young starter pops up on the market where I'm like, we need them right now. Bullpen, I don't want Yates. I don't want Osuna. I don't want Hand. I don't want Chafin. He didn't really even have that great of a year anyways. Ottavino, same thing, didn't have a good year. I thought about Shane Green, but then I'm like, I don't want to bring back all the players that used to play for Detroit. Also, he didn't even pitch last year. So I'm going to wait and see if another reliever becomes available on the market, maybe a little bit later in free agency. These two guys I looked at, but again, they didn't pitch last year either, so I'm gonna avoid them. So I'm gonna wait, see what other arms become available in free agency, because right now I don't like any of the names that are here. I feel like there's definitely gonna be one or two names that pop up. We can add them to the team, add a little bit more depth. We need depth with this team. One or two injuries, we're screwed. So that's what I'm kind of looking for with the pitching. Catcher, I definitely want an upgrade on Jake Rogers until Amaya or Dingler are ready. So Tucker Barnhart was like the one that really stood out to me, but he didn't even have that great of a season last year. And I feel like if we wait it out, there may be another catcher that becomes available. So fingers crossed, we find another catcher available. First base, we could rock with Nunez, we could rock with Choi, or Keston gets moved there. And this is where things get a little interesting, because if we move Keston there, Choi becomes more of like a platoon guy, a backup. Renato Nunez plays DH, and then we have an opening at second base. So who goes to second base, right? I don't like any of these options, right? I don't think any of them fit there. Third base, we'll come back to it, because we could also go to a shortstop to play second base, a Story, a Correa, a Baez, a Seager. And so I was thinking, okay, let's talk about this really quickly. And I'm gonna put myself up here so you guys can see the team. We've got Castro, we've got Goodrum. Goodrum's got really good fielding. He could play the outfield too. So I'm okay with leaving him as like a really good platoon guy. He plays kind of everywhere for us. If we get an injury, immediately becomes a starter, right? I liked Nico Goodrum this year. I thought he was really good. It sucked that he got hurt, because he was a key piece of the team offensively and defensively. He really fits the team. So yeah, Nico Goodrum, I like him. I think he's definitely a platoon guy though, especially versus lefties. I can't have him starting every day versus righties. So Harold Castro, he's my guy versus righties, right? We've got our versus lefties, we've got our versus righties. I know you can't see the stats, but you guys can see it. You guys know, you guys have seen. So these two guys, definitely platoon guys, kind of play the matchups, right? What we could do is Nunez stays as our DH. Keston, not necessarily the best of fielders. I feel like his bat was really good this year. What if we make him the first baseman? And then sadly, Choi becomes kind of that bat off the bench, or if we need a guy to play first base or DH because somebody's tired, he comes in. So there's that. So now we need a second baseman. Well, who plays second base? We don't really have anybody unless we go with one of these two guys. But again, I said they're matchup guys, they're platoon guys, and I feel like we could give them the start, but then it's literally Nico versus lefties, Harold versus righties, right? And I feel like if we're going to do that, let's just get a guy that we can use every single day, and then we'll let those two guys be the backups and the matchup players. So now we need a second baseman. Or because Willie's fielding isn't that great, what if we move him to second base? Now we need a shortstop. All right. Okay. What are we going to do here? That's the question. Or we go Keston stays at second, right? G-Man, I think, becomes a bench bat, right? Candelario, I wasn't too happy with him at third base. His arm was super weak. He just didn't feel too great there. What if we move him to first base? Now we need a third baseman, right? So there's a couple different ways we can take this. There's a couple different avenues that we could look at to get new players into the team. And you're probably starting to think about, like, are you probably starting to put together what I'm thinking here? A lot of you guys commented, bring back the Seager brothers, or bring home the Seager brothers, because they're from the Charlotte area. Not necessarily Charlotte, but the Charlotte area. I like that idea. I definitely do. The issue is I can't bring in both. It clutters the team. It just, we would literally have too many players at those positions, right? Seager comes in, he plays first or third. Well, then Candelario moves to that other position, and then now, okay, Keston stays at second. Willie Castro's there at short. Well, if we bring in Corey Seager there, then who gets the boot? Keston, Willie Castro. I feel like that changes the complexion of the team a little bit too much. I want to keep some of those players, and I would love to bring in Corey Seager. I would love to do that. A guy in his prime, crazy good shortstop, really good on the team, right? Just hit 41 home runs. But the thing is, Corey Seager is in the prime of his career. Does he want to come to a bottom-dwelling MLB team? Probably not, right? Let's hold off on Corey Seager. I think it would be really, really cool to bring him in. I think it would be really awesome to do that. Maybe we wait till like the deadline if we're a team that's a surprising team, or maybe we wait till season 3 when we're really trying to push to win, right? Kyle Seager, I can get behind a little bit more. I feel like that makes a little bit more sense. Let's go 2-year club option. Let's bump it up to $8 million, and we'll send it there. I'm okay with this move. I'll do $8.5 million for him as well, and we'll see if he accepts that offer. The thing is, Corey Seager is also going to cost $31 million. I just think if we're going to commit to that, let's just wait a bit and see how the team starts to shape before we go out and get Corey Seager. So as much as I love the idea, the storyline behind it, I want to do it. I just feel like it just clutters the team up a little bit too much. Let's go with Seager, the other Seager instead. Outfield. Let's talk about it here because I do want to add an outfield bat, but I don't like any of these bats that are available. Conforto, kind of the same thing. A player that's in his prime, doesn't make sense to bring him in. So I know some of you guys want me to bring back Puig. It actually is the most liked comment in the video from last time. I'll consider it. This guy is also available. B potential, Daryl Bowie. Good fielding, good speed, but the hitting stats really aren't there just yet. He is 20 years old, so like it is a little exciting, but like if we're gonna have players develop with the team, we have Daz Cameron, Riley Green, Parker Meadows, Jose De La Cruz. We've got Kevin Cordova. Sorry, I gotta get that in my head. Cordova. We've got Kevin Cordova. All right, I'm in my head. I'm gonna call him Kevin because in my head I know how to say it, but you know when you like you hear something and it doesn't sound right, so you say something else and you're like, now that doesn't sound right. Now I'm getting in my head. I'm just gonna call him Kevin from now on. But we've got Bowie. I'm gonna not sign him. I just don't feel like that's a good move. So is Puig the option? I also thought about Avisail Garcia, former Tiger. Actually not a terrible year last year. Good on base percentage. The OPS is a little low. Some of his attributes are going down a little bit. But again, I don't hate the idea of bringing him back. We could use him in the outfield, could help us out. The big issue is like we could really use a better fielding player, and then Jake Marisnick is kind of that player that fits that role a little bit better, and he actually didn't have that bad of a season either. So I also looked at his contract. He wants like $8 million a year. It's a lot of money. So is Puig the move? I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. If some of these guys go and I can't get a contract offer into them, I'm not gonna freak out about it. I want to see what other players become available. But those are the offers I have right now for now. Yeah, those are the offers that I have now for now. Yeah, those are the offers that I have for now. We'll see what happens with free agency. All right, so as we move through, I offered a new hitting coach. I'll show you the coaches because the coaches that we had were absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I want new coaches. I want better coaches. And as you can see, these are the coaches that we have. Pitching coach. Oh, I wanted to get rid of him. He's not good enough. He's gone. 2 years. I don't care. Get out of the team. You're not good enough. I want a new guy. And I'm gonna go with that second guy, I think. Ooh, that guy. David Long doesn't look bad either. Ooh, we've got a lot of good ones. So David Long or Michael Sherrick. I like both of them. I think they're both really good pitchers. But I like the stamina and the clutch and the walks per 9 or the let's give him a shot. 3 years, we'll bump it up a little bit. Let's see how he does. I'm down. Wait, did I have another offer in for a pitching coach? No, okay. I thought that said it was me for a second. All right, so let's move forward a couple days. The Yankees have a trade offer for us. What is it? Justin Wilson for Funkhauser. No. Let's keep moving. Roberto Perez signs with the Nationals. The Yankees are back. They just don't want Justin Wilson. I don't blame them. We got Michael Sherrick. Our staff is complete. Trevor Story goes to the Nationals. The Nationals are making some moves. Javi Baez to the Athletics. Brad Hand to the Giants. And now we're at the 40-man day. Osuna goes to the Diamondbacks. And it looks like we've got all three of our players that we wanted. So Scherzer, Verlander, and Seager have all joined the team. I'm liking our free agency so far. A couple older players definitely have joined the team, but I think, you know what, we're okay. Corey Seager's not getting good offers. Ooh, this is making me think maybe we go for it. Maybe we go for it. Hold on. How would this work? So Seager comes in, plays what? I mean, Seager's arm isn't better than Candelario's though. So would it be like that? Keston at second, and then Willie Castro gets kicked out of the team if we go for Seager? I feel like that's not fair, you know? Or is Seager like a platoon guy? Like he comes in when we need. I feel like that's not fair either because we signed him to be part of the team. Ooh, but like if Corey Seager's not getting good offers, I mean, we could bump this down a little bit. All right, I'm gonna offer a low bid. What was it? 5 years, 118. All right, 5 years, 118. Let's go 5 years, Let's go 5 years, 130. If he accepts that, I'm okay with that. 5 years, 130. If he takes that, we'll full send it. What I'll do is I'll give him the player option. I'll backload it, and it'll be $26 a year for 5 years. If he takes it, boom, we'll take it. We got ourselves a star player to build around. If not, it's okay. We don't like lose out too much on anything. So arbitration, we've offered everybody arbitration here, and oh man, we got him. Corey Seager joins us for 26 mil. I feel like we could have gone lower, but you know what? I'm okay with that. All right, we made the deal happen, and let's go see what other transactions have happened. Top season. Transactions. There we go. Okay, we'll just skip all these. So all transactions. Let's go to free agency. So let's quickly see. Darryl Bowie, that prospect center fielder, went to the Rockies. We've got Familia to the Royals, Crone to the Rays, Simmons to the Diamondbacks. We've got Kluber to the Athletics, Paxton to the Brewers. Any other big names? Seager just joined us, Mazzara to the Athletics, Scope to the Giants, Green to the Blue Jays. Barnhart went for 2 years, 14 mil to the Nationals. Okay. Brad Hand, Javi Baez. And then I think that kind of gets us all caught up, right? Trevor Story to the Nationals. Syndergaard went to the Braves. Okay. And I think that's, yeah, that kind of catches us all up to it. All right. So now that we're in like the kind of, oh, actually, let's just get to this stage of free agency. Let's see here. Who is available? Jake Cronenworth's available. Okay. That's an interesting name that became available. Merrill Kelly. That's an interesting name. I did want a bullpen arm. Do I need a lefty? Alexander Norris, Soto, Wentz. Maybe. I maybe could. I could also just use a righty. So I'm not really like, you know, against bringing in a lefty or a righty. I'm just kind of interested in bringing in a bullpen arm. Rich Rodriguez, James Hoyt, Diekman, Holder, Jalen Beeks, Melanson, Blake Parker. What else? We got Strop, Strom. Actually, what did Strom do? Terrible. Okay. Hoyt, not great. Diekman, not great. Rich Rodriguez, I feel like he's a very common signing for me or trade for me. But like at the same time, if I can get him, shore up that bullpen a little bit more, I'm down for it, right? I feel like bring him in. If they don't want him and we could get a bullpen arm to kind of help with this team, 32 years old, he'll give us a season or two, I'm down. Because there's no other young bullpen arms available. I think besides Jonathan Holder or what was it, Jalen Beeks. So like, do we go Beeks or Holder? Like that's really what it comes down to. And I feel like missing out on someone like Rich Rodriguez is probably the worst option available. But let's switch it up. I get him a lot. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, don't get him. That, I guess we can avoid that. So let's go Jalen Beeks. Let's see what we can do here. We'll go like a 2-year club option like I like to do. We'll bump him down to $2 million. We'll even throw him the bullpen option. And then maybe even sign Holder, 2-year club option. And then he wants 2.3 million. We'll do that. I don't know if he's going to be a bullpen arm, but to have the depth, might as well, right? Catchers. No better catcher. Oh, wait, Luis Campusano? Yermin Mercedes? Oh, there are a lot of like prospect catchers. Mabers Valoria, Corey Lee, Melendez. I'm going to avoid them. Kind of the same thing with Campusano. I'm going to avoid them because there's no reason for them to be available. So I'm gonna avoid them. Cronenworth became available. Nick Matten became available. Or is it Maton? I think it's Matten. Michael Franco, Sheldon Noisy. What other names are available here? Mendick, Arcia. What else do we have? Brett Gardner. I'm trying to see if there's like any sneaky pickups for us that we could get into the team, because I did want one more bat for the team. Adolis Garcia. I'm going to pass on him. He just doesn't have the stats like he would if the roster was updated a little bit. So we could also use a righty bat, I believe. That's what we needed the most. Yeah, look at our bench. We need a righty bat. So let's take a look here. Mitch wouldn't be bad. Didn't have the greatest of years. Garcia is still available, which I think might make the most sense. I think that's probably the bat that I'm looking at the most here. Out of like all the options here, I think that one just makes the most sense. You know, like Adolis Garcia would be cool, but I feel like if I were to boost his stats, that'd be kind of cheating. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I want to do that. So what I'll do is maybe we offer him a contract anyways. And then I'll let you guys decide if you think I should like boost his stats up just a little bit. I'm not saying like we're going to give him like 80s, 90s, but maybe like mid 60s, just so like it's kind of like a cool addition to the team. And then I am also going to bring in Avisail Garcia. 1-year deal though. We're going to do 5.2. We'll do 2 years club option. We'll even front load it because I feel like that'd be a little bit more realistic, and we'll go like that. So boom. That's what I want to do for the outfielders. Catchers. I think Yermin Mercedes is an unbelievable pickup for us. Couple seasons. He's 27. Oh man. Who else could we go for that would make sense? No one really, right? Let's get Yermin Mercedes. We're going crazy. 3 years, 3 mil. We'll just leave it as is. Boom, there we go. Let's see what happens. We're going a little crazy with this team now, huh? We got 41 on the 40 man. Who's getting cut? Who's getting the chop, probably him. Sorry. I think we also have a couple other. We got 2 other players that might join the team. Let's see what happens. Again, 41 on the 40 man. Who's getting the chopping block? Let's see. Any like D potential players that we could consider letting go? No. So let's go down here again. We'll go with Bo Burrows. Sorry, he's getting the 40 man chop. And then I think Alex Fido will get the 40 man chop as well, just to be safe. And let's keep moving forward and maybe see what happens in the Rule 5. We might lose somebody, to be honest. I don't know if everybody's on the 40 man that we need it to be. Oh, we don't have any space in our organization to sign anybody for the draft. Okay, we're gonna miss out on the Rule 5 draft, but I feel like our free agency window has been pretty good. The Yankees just want to get rid of Justin Wilson. I don't want Justin Wilson. Stop. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. So yeah, there we go. Man, is there anybody else that we could maybe get that would potentially be good enough to join the team or help us out? Looking at it, I don't think so. I think we had a pretty good offseason just right there. That was huge. Maybe a trade. Let's see. Let's kind of get this team sorted. Like, let's see. Reyes is good versus both. Okay, we got to figure this out now. This is so clustered. Oh boy, there's so much here. There's a lot. There's a lot to figure out now. I think offensively, we kind of work with what we have. Pitching rotation, obviously we have a cluster of some players here. But again, I feel like we've done a really good job with this team. I think we wait until the start of the season to make a trade, because I want to see what you guys think we could use. Because like, we've got to... this window went a lot crazier than I thought it was going to. And I like the moves that we made. As we move through arbitration, we should be good. That's it. Let's get through all arbitration. No other coaches need to be offered anything. Let me double check, make sure we don't have any contracts to renew. I think that's it. I think we had a really good offseason. And let's go through the roster really quick so you guys can see what we have. So Boyd, Scherzer, Turnbull, Verlander, Mize, Skubal, and then a couple other youngsters. You guys can see that there. Merle Cosmos joined up with the team. So there we go. You know, the bullpen, I think Michael Fulmer is our closer, but we've added a couple names as well. Maybe could use a couple more relievers. Maybe go out and sign a couple relievers, like young guys, kind of like 61, 60s just to fill out the roster. But bullpen looks good here. Jalen Beeks could join us in the majors. Catchers, looking good. I like that. Maybe add one more catcher just for depth purposes in the minors. G-Man, Renato Nunez at first. Hura, Castro at second. Seager, Candelario. We've got Torkelson. We've got Blackwell for the future. Paredes is still kind of in the mix, even though hitting stats look terrible, so I don't think he's ever going to feature much. But that looks good. Shortstop, we've got Seager, Goodrum, Castro, Austin Martin too. We've got that. We've got Kevin, Willie Calhoun, Bryant Packard. Completely forgot about him. I want to get him in the mix as well. Daniel Cabrera, Badu, Adolis Garcia, Daz Cameron, a couple other guys, you know, Riley Green, Parker Meadows, Jose De La Cruz. And then in the right, we've got Garcia and Reyes. I like the team. I still don't think it's a playoff team. I really don't. But I think adding some of these guys helps us out. And I definitely think some of these guys are going to be trade pieces, 100%. I definitely do. I mean, I could, you know, part ways with someone like Willie Castro if you guys think he needs to go. Or a Candelario since we have Seager. Or a Harold Castro. Or Avisel Garcia or some of our outfielders. You know, it's really, I wanted to get some depth because injuries definitely kind of hit in bunches. We lost Miggy, Nico, and a couple other guys all within a small span of time. So like 1 or 2 injuries, we could have been screwed, right? So now we have our trade pieces. We have depth. We have a really good team. Let me know what you guys think. I'll even show you guys the depth chart so you guys can kind of get an idea of what this team is looking like. Obviously, Seager isn't in the starting lineup, but like you guys can kind of, you guys know Seager would be at shortstop. So does Castro go to second? Hura at first? Seager at third? Someone goes to DH? Let me know what you guys think. I think we had a really good offseason. I feel like we didn't improve the team too much. I feel like we added a lot of depth pieces. There's a lot of competition in this team now. I like the team. There it is. We're going to leave it there. Kind of a live off-season thought process video thing for you guys to see, and I hope you did enjoy it. Of course, if you did, hit that thumbs up down below. Let me know what you think of the off-season. I think we may have went a little bit overboard. I definitely do. I definitely do. But I feel like adding some of those players makes it a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. It was cool. I didn't think we were going to get the Seager brothers. That's insane. Plus a couple other youngsters. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think we could do with the team, if we could make some trades. But I definitely don't want to go too crazy with any more trades or signings. I feel like we did a little bit too much right there. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And of course, get in the comment section. Let me know basically anything. I need to know what we could do with the series. Let me know about Marcell Ozuna. That's really about it. Catch you in the next one. Peace.